Hey guys, what's up? It is Nocturnal Gaming here. I'm going to ramble a little bit about tournaments, how to join them, why to join them, etc. And it's going to be there's not going to be really a strict format on this one. I'll probably redo this video because I'm just going to ramble for right now and kind of get some thoughts out. And then I'll refine the video later. So tournaments are how you get titles in the game, or some titles in the game. You can see those when you go to your account, and you can select your titles. Why do I not remember where that's at? Oh, why is my title? Here it is. Yeah, I don't know why my title's missing, actually. That's weird. So if you filter on tournaments, you'll see all the ones. And mine are locked here. I don't have a hero title yet, but I don't know why my mod title is missing. Let's put that back. So invariably, you've seen those titles in the game, with various tournaments. In the early days, the only tournaments that you had, there were in-game tournaments, and then you had the tournaments that have moved to Discord. I'm going to post a link to the NW Stats. It has a good write-up about this. But in the early days, there were no titles. It was just special titles and Hero Legend. Since then, they've had like some of the Masters tournaments and things like that. So some of those Legendary and Hero titles are under the actual bigger game tournaments. So invariably, you've seen those around a few times. So if you get Hero, there are some items that you can buy in the shop that are Hero only. Zircon being one of those. You'll see player status required Hero. There's the AR-2000 legendary helicopter. There's an anti-air, the Anseek. So you'll see these, and in order to have those, you need to have a hero title. There are also some legendary ships that you can buy that use platinum. You'll see this 100 platinum here. Once you win a title, you'll be given more platinum, and you can use that to buy a couple of the legendary ships. I don't know if there's a filter for that, so I'll just scroll through it. One of them is this one here, player status required legend, and the other one is the Nemesis. And player status required. Forget the price on these, but when you get awarded legendary, you'll be given enough platinum to buy all of those. So no worries. I think they have just 100 there to keep it as a placeholder. But that's what that's for. A lot of people ask that, and that's for those two ships. And who knows, in the future, they did do some updates to the equipment recently. So yeah, things had gotten a little bit out of date, but they did buff those recently. So that said, currently, I'll post this link in the description, but this is a link on NW Stats, and it goes through the whole story about hero status and legendary status, and it lists all the items you can buy, etc. Goes through some of the history of it. I'm not going to go through this document here, but I will post it in a link for you to read over it. To join tournaments currently, those are all done through Discord. And if you go to settings, community, and you'll see here the link to the official Discord community, and I'll bring that up. When you click that link, it's going to pop up this page here, and if you have Discord installed, it'll bring up your Discord. So let me bring that over, and I'll show you where the Discord tournaments are posted in the official server. I need to, one second, I need to hide the, forgot how to, anyway, so on the official Modern Warships Discord, there's a MW community tournaments, and this is a basically a feed for all of the different tournaments on the various servers. And there's a bunch of different servers that do tournaments. but they all kind of converge here, and you can see the details. They'll post them here. You'll have the server. You're going to be on a ton of Discord servers. And one thing I'm going to caution you about now is you need to keep like really good. You need a good method for tracking all the tournaments, because it's, especially if you join multiple a week, I do 2 to 4 tournaments a week, and it can get out of hand pretty fast. Like you can kind of forget what you've signed up for, and matchmaking. So you'll see the details will be posted here. The tours are different formats. It could be a 1v1, 2v2, all the way up to a 5v5 tournament. I don't see a lot of 5v5, but there are some out there. It's common to see 1, 2, and 3. Sometimes some 4v4s. They'll tell you the tournaments usually have a theme. So you'll see like it'll be like ship specific. In this case, it's 4v4, tier 3. Number of teams is 64, no title restrictions. Some tournaments, have no title restrictions. Some of them, you can't have a title. It just varies. And depending on whether a title is allowed or not will kind of, vary what title rewards you can get. So there's no title restriction here. So if you're hero already, then you'll see here under the prize pool, you'll go from hero to legendary. If you don't have a title, then you would get hero your first time. You have to win 2 tournaments to get legendary. So you'll see that here. I think second place gets hero. Third place you get is that 1,000 or 10,000 AC, 5K gold. Is that 1,000? That's 1,000 AC, not 10,000. 10K gold, 2,000 AC. So various rewards. 30-day premium, 15K gold, 3,000 AC. So you can get some art coin out of this as well. So pretty cool. They will have rules here on what's allowed, what equipment, what ships, and you have to be very careful with this. These vary a lot. Sometimes they allow golden dollar only items and ships. Sometimes they allow battle pass items. Sometimes they allow rank store, and you have to be very careful because it's a disqualification for that match if you use the wrong equipment. Seen it happen a lot. So, if you find one of these, I don't have one I want to sign up for right now. I haven't looked through these today. Like I said, I finished 4 tours over the weekend, so I didn't have, I haven't had a chance to look through and see what I want to join next. But once you have one of these that you have, like you decide you want to sign up for, you'll see they'll have a Discord link, they'll have a registration link, etc. For the registration, like here's a Discord. Let me see if there's any. This is a 1v1 tournament. Let me look at this one here. So you got Pixel Storm. Let's see what the format is. Oh, ACV. So I'm not doing that. 1v1 ACV. I'm a terrible ACV player, but I was gonna say I would sign up for one, but I don't want to do a 1v1. Yeah, we'll do this later. So what I do, and you can come up with your own method, but I have a folder here for active tours, and I moved the Discord servers. I have a lot of like tour tournaments out here, like MW Tours. This is my Discord folder here on the left, and this is all the different Discord servers that host tournaments. So there's a bunch of them out there because I join them, on and off depending on what tournaments are available. This is an active one that I have. You go to the server, you're going to have to verify. They have a double counter to make sure that you don't have a duplicate account. Careful with this too. A word of caution: I've seen people fail the double counter because some browsers have a built-in VPN, and so they think you're using a VPN, and they don't let you verify. But once you join the server, there's going to be a verification link. You go to that, open and verify. I think I verified here already, but we'll click it and see what it does. Yeah, I already verified. If not, it had a link that would open up to a browser, so you would verify. And then you have to look at the registration time. Like right now they're hosting on this particular server. They've got Battle Tendency, Old School Season 1, Frozen Fury. So you'll see they have different tournaments going at the same time, and they're all going to have their own registration dates, and they'll have their own brackets and, timetables for them to match timetables and whatnot, time for each round. So you'll have usually once you have a bracket assigned and a team, opposition team, then you'll create a ticket on the server, and that'll create a channel. Let me see if I have one here. I don't think I have one open. I actually need to move this one out. This is one that I lost over the weekend. So, but you'll go, like, once you have the bracket, you need to really watch your notifications on this. It'll say you have a bracket or whatever, and then you'll create a ticket, and that'll create a room for you to discuss with your opponent times that you have your match. And so it'll be you, your opponent, and your staff will be in that ticket. And you talk with them and say, hey, these are the times that I'm available. I usually give them a window, 3 to 4 hours. I generally do mine in the East Coast mornings, but it kind of varies. You can kind of work that out depending on where you're located and your opponent is located, and you guys agree on a time. If you don't agree on a time, then the tournament staff, by a certain deadline, will specify a time for you to play your match. So it's better if you can work out your time with your opponent and say, hey, this is when I can play, and you guys come to an agreement on your own. Otherwise, it might be a time that's not good for anybody involved. So just keep that in mind. You want to kind of be flexible. I have seen some people kind of like push the limits on this and, wait till the last day to reply. And so you have a very short time period where you have to do the match. And so I have kind of seen some of those shenanigans. It's just part of it. There's just no way around it. The thing is for me, I get in, I create the ticket as early as possible. I give broad windows, so it's obvious who's trying to be agreeable and come to a meeting time, and who's kind of playing games with that. So I'm not saying that happens all the time, but I have seen people kind of abuse that a little bit, and then you end up getting sometimes it's like 3 a.m. for you or something. Once you have the match scheduled, if you don't show up for the first match, it's an automatic DQ for that round. If only some of your players on your team show up, like if it's a 3v3 and their team shows up, but you only have 2, then you have to play the match, 3 versus 2. So it's good for you to have everybody in your team on board. When you sign up for a tournament, I'm just going to click. Let me see if there's a registration link here. So it's going to pop up a link. It'll pull up a website, and what those will generally look like, you'll see the rules for the tour. So you'll see this is a 2v2. Battle cruise is allowed. Smart 4000 is allowed. That's the 2 types of ships. No title restrictions. It'll tell you the banned items, and almost always the bundle, gacha, those items are banned. So something's like it's like gold and dollar only, or gold dollar BP. Gacha is almost always banned. There are some that it's open, but for the most part, it's always banned. It'll tell you, like in this case, it's telling you up front that the matches are going to be in Arctic. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes it's random. For the earlier rounds, it's best of 3. So that means you have to win 2 out of 3 matches. For the final, which is usually round 5 or 6, you have to win 5, best of 5. So it's going to be a minimum of 3 wins. And a win is you beat your opponent by damage, or you eliminate 1 or more opponents. And in that case, damage doesn't matter. If you have 3 players on your team and you killed one of theirs, then it's a win no matter the damage. If you end the match and you both have like 2 players left, whoever has the highest damage wins. So damage really matters in tournaments. And with that said, the play style varies a lot. So you're going to get a lot of people who are really good at using helicopters and using damage. I've had a tournament one time where they came in with a helicopter, they did some damage, and then they just bolted. They ran the entire match, and we ended up spending the entire match trying to chase them down to return damage. So, that can happen. So damage really does matter. You want to inflict more damage than you receive. And it's a totally different play style, kind of annoying sometimes. So, another tour format that I kind of started getting into that got me used to the tournament play style is the M47W tours. These are kind of cool in a way because like they'll have them every week. They're at a set time. So the Saturday registration is Saturday morning, it's I think it was this 12:30 UTC. It's like 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. They have these every week. It's the same format, and it's all 5 rounds happen the same day. So over a period of 3 to 4 hours, you're going to play every match. So the downside of this is that your initial round 1 match is random teams. Actually, all of them are. So until you get to round 5, so it's kind of like a ranked match where you register for the tournament. And for these, when they post them, they haven't updated this week, but the way to enter this tournament is really easy. You just you click the reaction button. It's locked here now, but there'll be a little fire icon, a little fire reaction. You just click that and it'll register you. So you'll see, once you click that, you'll see a notification in your Saturday registered, and it means you're in the tournament. And then when the tournament starts, if you watch the port channel here, the port will close. And once the port closes, you'll see the war zone open up, the war zone check-in. So you'll come here and there will be a, this channel will open and it'll have a little thing you click and it says /Saturday check-in level. And so you click that and then you just enter your player level, and that's how they enter you into the thing. You'll go into the war zone, and then you'll see like a war zone like room, like you see here, 2-6. So it's like Warzone 11 was my first one. They had 11 matches before me. Sometimes there's like 200 players involved. So they did 11 matches, maybe even more. I was in the 11th one, and you'll see a room will pop up. They'll have, they'll tag like 10 players, 8 players, whatever. So you'll see everybody that was tagged here for that room. That's who was competing. And then they just kind of assign you by level. And then if you win that round, you go on to round 2. And one of the things about Survivor is that, so let's say you have a 5 versus 5 match, it's Survivor. So if 2 of your teammates get killed, but you beat the other team, then only 3 people advance. So even if your team wins, if you die, you're out. You have to survive each round. So it's a little tricky. It does get you used to the format of playing tournaments. It's a little bit stressful. And so it's good to do these just to be in the mode of playing tournaments, focusing on getting damage. Obviously taking opponents out is better because damage doesn't matter if you take one out. You got to, play your game cautiously and not lose. It causes your team to lose. You also have to be very careful about not using gear that's not allowed. In this one, they post what's allowed every time. And you need to check this closely because it changes. Sometimes they allow ranked, sometimes they don't. So people get burned with this. M47 is a little bit different in that if you use banned gear, your whole team doesn't lose, but you get eliminated. So, but anyway, like point is be very careful with this because it's, like this one, like all laser guided missiles and launchers are banned, rank stores banned. Sometimes it's allowed, and I see people get nabbed with this a lot. Also, very frequently in tournaments, you'll see the current month's BP items are banned. That's almost universal with all tournaments I've seen. If they allow BP, and it's like, right now it's March, you can't use items from March's BP. That's pretty standard. So anyway, those are pretty good. The Saturday tour is always non-title. So if you don't have a hero legendary title, you're playing with other players who don't have title. They have a Sunday registration as well. And that allows any title. So non-title, hero, legendary can compete in those. Sundays are very hard. Very early in the morning for me as well. And then they do a monthly registration as well. Once a month they have where you can submit a team to join and play these tournaments. So I like M47W. It's good for being in the mode of playing tournaments. I did get to I finished 3rd place overall one weekend, which is kind of cool. It's not easy to do because you do have random teams. It's not people that you normally play with and communicate with and things like that. So it's a little bit of a challenge. It's kind of like a ranked match in that regard. But they're great tours. Just don't go in there like thinking you're gonna beat everybody. It's more for being. I use it more for practice and being used to playing tournaments. So you'll your mileage may vary with that. I do kind of enjoy those. Yeah, but it is kind of hard because it's, you know, like it's hard to play with players that you haven't played with before and come to a, you know, a good coordinated strategy and whatnot. So anyway, I will probably remake this video maybe when I have a tour that I can actually sign up for. You know, let me go back to this registration link real quick just to cover a couple of things. So here they'll have all the basic rules. You need to be very familiar with this and keep track of, you know, like what tournaments you're in, keep an Excel sheet, whatever you need to do that. And let me see, is there, yeah, register here. So it's not published anymore. So you're going to need, for every tournament that you join, you're going to need your Discord ID, your player ID, your player name, and your name can't change when you're in battle, like, or when you go to the match. So like my game name is, you know, this Twitch Nocturnal Gaming, and I'm going to put this in the, you know, in the ticket when I register. I'll have my teammates ticket. You'll need your Discord ID, and there's some, if you can search on the internet on how to get your Discord ID. This is not your, you use your Discord name as well, because that's going to be one of the blocks that you fill out, but it's your Discord developer ID. And so you'll see here, like under the user settings, advanced, you'll have to enable developer mode to get this. It's, let me find mine real quick. There's a number. Like I keep a tab here in OneNote. This is all mine. And people that I tour with a lot, I'll keep their Discord tag, their game ID, Discord ID, etc. Their title level, their level. Sometimes you need a screenshot of your profile with the level and whatnot. So keep that in like a notepad or something so you can get it for you and all your teammates, because you're going to need it if you're signing up for tournaments. That's all I got on it. You know, they're a lot of fun. They are difficult. You know, that it's not easy to win titles. There are a lot of really good players out there. And there's really good players who have a lot of titles that, you know, they join every tour. So you're going to run into them. So it's not easy. The thing is to just keep doing them. You get better at them when you play the tournaments. And I learned something from, you know, every loss. That's kind of true with, you know, life in general. You know, you make mistakes and you learn from them, you improve, and tournaments are no different. So don't expect to go in there thinking you're going to mop the floor. You know, it's going to be a very humbling experience. Just be prepared for that they're not easy. There's some players who do nothing but tournaments and they're really good at them. The playing field's a bit more level because it's not, you know, there's no pay to win in tournaments, except for some of them. For the most of them, it's, you know, the gear is very limited to gear that everybody, you know, can access and whatnot. So you're not going to have this advantage of gear. I really like them. You know, it's a very good for honing your skills and getting better. It does require more skill than a typical, you know, going out and playing escort or something like that, where you are, you know, tandem when you spot the Ningbo and you have, you know, really good cannons on it and whatnot. It's not going to be like that at all. It's going to be very difficult. You're going to get players with a vast array of skills. Some of them that are very good with helicopters that are just lighting you up with, you know, helicopter damage, and you can't shoot them back, or they're doing hook shots with laser guided missiles if those are allowed. So don't expect to go out there and, you know, tear everybody up. It's a very humbling experience. They're very hard and a lot of good players. But I think they're fun. I think it's one of the better aspects of modern warships. Ranked is my other one. I really enjoy doing ranked matches. They're very hard, and tournaments are right along with that. They're very hard to do. So I'm getting something out of it. I'm working on, you know, advancing in skills and winning, you know, against very difficult players. So for me, that's my favorite part of modern warships is the competitive side of it. I do enjoy like just going out and doing tandem or doing escort and beating up on a tanker for a bit. That is fun sometimes, but for me, it comes down to doing these skill-based matches and whatnot. So good luck with that, guys. I know I rambled here for a long time. I may do a little bit more condensed version of this later on, or do a write-up that I can add to it. If you have any specific questions about it, feel free to hit me up in the comments or on the official Discord, or even in game chat, and I'll try my best to answer it. This entire video I was doing it because someone asked how to join tournaments, and it's not something that I can give a quick answer to because it is pretty involved. So, but yeah, man, hope to see you guys out there. Definitely, get into some tournaments. I think they're a great time. We need more players playing them, and yeah, that's all I got. Cheers. We'll see you guys around.